failure is not really real. Like, there's setbacks. There's only such a thing as setbacks. There's no such thing as failure.
I get where you're coming from with it, because of course there's failing, but I think failure is when you quit the game. I think you can always take L's along the journey, but as long as you never put yourself in a position to where you're no longer trying to get after whatever it is that you're trying to get after, that's when you fail.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say if you were to put it in athletic terms, you're not a failure until it's like, oh, well, you know, I'll just start skipping going to a bunch of different teams in an effort to win a championship and not contributing, you know, at least in KD's, because I look at his championship, completely unrelated, but I look at his 2 championships in Golden State, and I understand why people devalue them, because you were up 3-1, conference finals, you did not perform in those final 3 games, you end up losing. The team that beat you had the greatest regular season of all time, you joined them, you win 2 championships. Now, granted, he was the best player on the court when they won in 2017 and 2018. No, because LeBron was balling, but KD was the best player on those Warriors squads, and had it not been for him,
so I hate that narrative. I hate that narrative, though, because like you look at the ESPN ranking that just came out, they got Steph ranked higher than KD.
Yeah.
Steph won one after KD.
No, but
so I think KD looks good because you got this dude that's fucking drawing all the. So good example. If we're fighting dudes. Right, and let's say you're by yourself and you're fighting a dude, and it's pretty evenly matched. But let's say now it's like him and his boys versus us, and 4 of them double team me, and I'm fighting 4 of them, and you're just punching them, like you're just knocking them out, because like they're all focused on me, and you're just knocking them out. You're gonna look really good in that fight. Right. Because of that. So Steph does the same thing. They're gonna get real basketball-y right now, but he draws, like, he spreads the floor so deep. The Warriors offense, not just Steph Curry. But the Warriors offense draws the floor so deep, that ball movement is so crazy. Correct. So as soon as it gets into KD's hands, he's like, oh, cool, I gotta just do this.
And moreover, you're in a situation where you're not being doubled as much. Yeah. So that is correct.
So he was playing with house money. It's like
right, he was. But then the reason why I can give him a bit of credit was because in those games, his role was pivotal, and then moreover, he played, you know, at that level that was necessary the year prior that could have gotten them to the finals. That's why I don't completely devalue it, but I completely understand, because since he left,
they won another one.
They not only did they win without you, you haven't been able to get back. Granted, had his wore a larger shoe, they would have probably beaten the Bucks the season that the Bucks ended up winning in Game 7. But that's neither here nor there. Things happen. It's sports, right? But overall, in his case, let's just say he was to bring it back. Let's just say he was in a situation where it's like, all right, cool. I'm in Brooklyn. Doesn't work out. Go to Phoenix. Wow, it doesn't work out. And he goes a bunch of different places, but you can tell he's not competing at a very high level. And he's kind of just coasting, just trying to get on a squad that can win a championship, then you could look at it like, hey, he's failed.
Well, I think when I look at it, he's already failed. Because think about it. Warriors, that's a given. They won without him. Right. He went to Brooklyn. He dismantled their franchise. The franchise is fucked because of KD. They sold their soul for him. For him, Kyrie, James Harden. They're like, oh, big 3, bro, flop.
Yeah, it did flop.
Now these are the Suns. If he doesn't win with the Suns, right, I think he will go down as the worst leader of a player ever. Because that's like, how can you, like, no, because KD is a great, amazing talent, but he's not that guy.
Yeah, he's not. He's not that guy. He's not a leader of men, per se. I think he's so talented, he leans on the talent. Because we've seen a ton of different times in which you have a very, you know, prolific player that's not a prolific leader. Seldom do you have a situation, no, maybe not so much seldom, but not often do you have a situation where the best player is also the best leader.
Because I think leaders in here. Right. I've been on teams, sounds weird enough, a bowling team. Because we used to go bowling. And like this is back in the day.
Who do you think you are?
But we would go bowling and we would like drink and stuff, like just drunk bowling, right? So we would go bowling, and I remember there's 2 guys that were kind of like the leaders of the groups. One guy, they're both the best bowlers by far, but one guy was so like super critical, just not a good leader at all, and one guy was like uplifting. Okay. Uplifting, and then when it gets to crunch time, like he'll get you in that zone. And this is where I kind of saw the leader dynamic, and this is where I learned about this. The one guy, regardless of what players he had, he would always win. And people would always be like, I want to be on his team. And it wasn't because he was inherently better, but it was because of the way that people played better with him. With KD, cool, you're fucking great. You're good at basketball. Let's say KD at some point was the best basketball player in the world, right? I think you have to factor in the fact that this person makes other people better.
Right. Somebody, if you're able to elevate those that are around you.
I'm a big Steph Curry fan because basketball is not a one-on-one game. If you put KD against anyone one-on-one, I think he's going to beat every single person. Even LeBron, I'm a big LeBron fan. I think KD would beat LeBron one-on-one. You put 4 people around them, LeBron will uplift everyone. Everyone gets better with LeBron.
Right.
Everyone gets better with Steph Curry. Everyone gets better with like a Kobe Bryant, you know? But a KD doesn't make everyone better. He's just so good at basketball that they're almost like a safety net, but they're not like, hey, I'm not going to let this guy down.
Right.
You know, like players that play with LeBron, players that play with Steph, they're like, I can't let him down. I'm going to give it my all, and we're going to win this thing. When you play with KD, it's kind of like, he's fucking good. I could chill.
Right. Do you think there's like an element of selfishness that exists? Because now that he's in Phoenix and they have their new big 3 of him, Beal, Booker, they're all primary scorers first.
It's gonna be rough,
so I don't believe it's going to end up working out for them unless somebody takes a step back, similar to what happened with the big 3 situation. But again, you have LeBron, who plays well amongst his teammates and can elevate. D. Wade, almost somewhat of the same thing.
Yeah.
Bosh, willing to sacrifice. It works. So you have to be in a situation where people are willing to, you know, go and make that happen.
Well, no, but if you look at the way their offenses work too, it's like KD is not really a passer like that. Like when you talk KD, like what is he good at? Dude's long and he can get a shot up anywhere.
He could score,
he can get a bucket.
Defend.
Yeah. You look at Book, it's kind of like dude can get a bucket. They're not looking at them like, oh, these guys can make everyone better around them.
Right.
And I think because of that,
yeah, it's going to make it. They really have to figure out what it is that they want to do if they're supporting Gast, I guess.
Well, I think KD would be more successful if he just like put his ego to the side, like let me be a number 2
I think
somewhere.
So too. No, not even a number 2. I think if he was like a number 1, but it's like I'm willing to not be a 20, like almost like Melo per se.
Yeah.
Where if you have to go out, get your 30, 28, 25 points per game, what if you were to cut that down a bit to 22, but then increase your assist total from 4 or 3 or 4 and push that to 5, 6. Now that kind of changes the dynamic because teams will have to defend you differently. Yeah. That's no knock on your ability, but it aids for the people that are around you. It's just it's one of those things that, especially as a team, granted we did go full basketball, but it is one of those things that it's essential.